Alright, hello and welcome to the Game Fanatics podcast. My name is Ben, and today I'm joined by Breezy,
Hello.
Jeff,
Hey.
and Greg.
What?
What? And we are today talking about the Elder Scrolls Online.
I haven't played. Don't care.
Oh my god. Super big game coming out, obviously. I kind of forgot that it was coming out so soon. I think it's like a month out.
Really?
I'm
So
not
soon.
100% sure.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. But Jeff and I got some time to play. I played a lot more because I have no life.
And you're unemployed.
I'm employed.
You know you're not. Right for the Fanatics doesn't count as a job.
I have a job.
Sure you do. You tell yourself that.
Anyway, I've played a lot of it. I've gotten about to level 12. Maybe I put in about 12 hours in it so far. So I can tell you basically everything. I don't know. Everything you'd want to know up to level 12.
Okay. How many hours? How many levels?
I've probably played at least 12 hours.
Okay.
At least 12. I want to say probably closer to 14 or so.
Yeah, I've put in probably 4 or 5 hours, and I'm level 3 or 4.
Yeah, the beginning you can kind of play a lot and not level up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I it's kind of tough where to start because it is so much similar to Skyrim.
Okay.
You pick your character, you pick your class, which is different. You have your own class skills now. And the whole idea of having skills in general is a little bit different because, you think back to Skyrim, if you were a melee character, what skills did you have? Like heavy attack and light attack? Like,
Yeah.
you really didn't have a lot of skills. And so now you might have some kind of cleave that does certain, type of damage, like bleed damage or something. Like, there's different moves in there, and because now you have a skill. I was a paladin or something like that. And so I had various skills like that were. I had some healing skills, but I never leveled them up because I didn't need to for the longest time. It's pretty easy starting out up until like level 6 or so.
Okay.
It's pretty easy. But anyway, back to the skills. You can pick 5 skills to have at any time, and so you can just mix and match all these skills, and it makes the combat a lot more in depth and interesting than Skyrim, where Skyrim,
Okay.
even if you I was a battle mage, I guess you'd say, and you just have your mace, and then you have like a fireball, and that's basically all you're doing. And each combat scenario is the same. And even though each combat scenario might be the same in the Elder Scrolls Online, you're using like 7 attacks.
Okay.
So it's inherently more different when you can do like, oh, this attack will slow him down. Like, this is my ranged attack, and then I can run up close and do this diving thing. And it really it adds a little more nuance to the combat as opposed to Skyrim, which I don't know about you guys, but after a while, it just felt like I'm just like hitting the right trigger, beating on someone for half an hour.
Oh,
I
definitely.
want you to die! Whack, whack, whack.
Yeah, that's all the combat is in Skyrim at a certain point. And also the magic in Skyrim was awful, just like poorly balanced. This still feels like moves take up a lot of MP, but you can it does damage. Like, it feels like an attack. You want to use skills more than you want to actually just attack normally.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Also, I'm sure there's probably going to be controller support for the main entry, since it's coming out on PS4 and whatever.
Is that what you
But-
just call the Xbox One?
Well, it's also coming out for 360 and PS3, I think.
Is it?
I think. Whatever. It's coming out for things that have controllers. But the beta on PC doesn't have controller support.
Okay.
But like on Sunday, which was day 3 of the beta, I rigged it up to work with an Xbox controller. And it is so good.
Really?
Oh my god. That's why I liked Final Fantasy XIV so much, because you can just lean back and do everything and not have to worry about it. This isn't perfect, obviously, because I just jerry-rigged this, but being able to sit back and play Skyrim, or play it like Skyrim, made it... I was already enjoying myself, but this made it way better. I could see you really getting sucked into this just simply because it's so easy to sit down and do.
Okay.
It's not like you're goofing around in menus a lot, unless you want to craft and whatever.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Ben. It feels like a classic Bethesda time sink, It's what they're best at making.
It is, exactly.
Yeah. And the first few hours have been really well paced for me. And I'm generally not a huge RPG fan or fantasy guy, but it starts out you're in this prison. You get to pick your class and your race and your class. Actually, that was different from Skyrim.
Well, you could do that, I think. Well, the class is new.
I remember just being able to pick the race.
Yeah, the class is new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Khajiit Dragon Knight.
Ooh. So what are the what are the classes?
They're your traditional,
Yeah.
Because like I said, I was a paladin or whatever, or like a Templar, whatever. And there's like a warrior guy. There's the mage person. There's the dark elf stealth person. They're normal. They're normal archetypes, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay.
And there's something for every play style. It's safe to say.
Yeah, it's pretty diverse. I mean, they're not going to alienate anyone or not. There was 9, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 4 classes. And what was interesting, I don't know if you caught this, was of the 9 races, they were each categorized in 3 groups.
Yeah, it's like your allegiance, I guess.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know what that does in terms of any gameplay thing, but it's there. I'm sure that's a different, after level 12 thing.
Yeah. Were you running into very many other people, other players in your world?
No, and that's an interesting point too, because part of it is kind of cool that you're exploring this sky. What's the name of the world? Cyrodiil?
Is it?
Is it Cyrodiil or is it?
No, Cyrodiil's the
city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're exploring the place, the Earth. There's when you're doing it in Skyrim, it's very solitary, obviously, and I kind of like that about it. And here, because we're a very limited beta, there's not a lot of people running around, so it's kind of cool. And every once in a while, you'll see someone, and I feel like the game might be ruined a little if there's even twice as many people running around, and there's not that many people running around right now. Because if I'm like exploring a lava mountain, which is a volcano, lava mountain is a volcano. Pro tip: if I'm exploring a volcano and I just look out and it's this beautiful vista, and then I see a bunch of idiots jumping around, it kind of ruins it. Even if it's just 2 people,
yeah,
it kind of ruins the whole thing. And that was something I run into. And you're familiar with MMOs. There's the enemies constantly respawn, but this causes a problem when like the dungeons feel so small and tailor-made for you, and you're running through, and all of a sudden, there's a guy ahead of me, and there's dead bodies here now, and it's like, I guess I'm joining up with him so I can actually fight stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not quite instanced right, I guess. In fact, there was no instancing that was like clearly obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm torn on the whole people being here, because it's fun to like play Skyrim with multiple people. Like that's awesome. But at the same time, I kind of want them to go away and get out of my way sometimes.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Oh, bitch. But yeah, I did notice some features were removed because of the new MMO playstyle. Mm-hmm. Like you can't wait if it's nighttime and you want it to be daytime. You can't just push the back button.
True.
And cycle through. You can't fast travel, and because of the you can't fast travel. I think what they did was because Ben, you and I have been playing on completely different areas.
Yes.
They have like smaller self-contained islands, and you can walk from one end to the world in just a few minutes, but they have different levels like that.
Yeah.
So it's still a massive game, but it's just split apart.
The world is split into a weird area, and I don't know how the actual map of the world, like if it actually just looks like this. But you actually, go back a little step further. You can teleport. It's not free, and it's only to waypoints.
Okay.
And they kind of need to add some waypoints, because some of them are really close together, and some of them are way the hell over there. So that's a little pet peeve for me. But as for the maps, because after you do the little you start the game and you're in prison and whatever, and there's like a kind of tutorial area that I'm sure is the same for everyone. Then you move to another area, and in my case, I was on an island. And so I leave the island, and then I'm on a little mainland. And then it opens up even further to where I'm at this larger expanse. And from there, the map seems like it's an island, but it's just blurred out. You can go to other areas, but it's not like Skyrim where it's an open square and you can just go. It's like, here's a little square and there's an exit point in the, bottom left to another
Okay.
square. I don't know. It's pretty typical MMO. Obviously, you can't have, just based on a server thing, you can't have everyone on one map.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a problem. I don't. There's a lot to explore. I think it's the whole world of wherever this place is.
Yeah. Like but what Bethesda's done is just accurately translate the Elder Scrolls experience into an MMO setting in a way that feels very natural. Yeah, the area I was at is Canarthy's Roost. I think you pronounce it that way.
Sure.
It's this like tropical island sort of with Oriental architecture. So it's like this weird mix of Japan and Hawaii. Actually, Japan and Hawaii, no, China and Hawaii. Yeah. No?
Wow. Close.
I'm stupid. I don't know much about culture.
I didn't know what a volcano was 5 minutes ago, so it doesn't matter. I'm still learning so much. But yeah, the world is pretty vast. Like the first island I was starting on was all snowy. It was I think it said that it was off of Skyrim, so it's all snowy and whatnot. I go to the next area. There's giant mushrooms everywhere, and I keep going. And then there's like a little desert area, and there's the volcanoes I'm talking about. It's pretty impressive considering I'd look at the map and I'd be like, this is the same map that had the volcano. And way over here is those mushrooms, and way over here is that little desert, and here's the ocean. It's pretty cool how diverse everything is. And I guess we can talk about this now. The game looks really good.
Yeah.
You could probably max it out. It's not too taxing, but it looks good, and the lighting effects are really good. The world, it's very well detailed. They do a really good job of world building, even though Bethesda didn't make this, I guess. ZeniMax did or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same thing? I don't know. Doesn't matter. They clearly spent a lot of time recreating the entire world like this, and it feels right. It feels. I don't know if you've played some MMOs, and it just feels like a large expanse that's big just for the sake of we have 100 people here.
Right.
And this is big, but it's big because that's just how this would work. There would be a mountain here, and it would take you this long to climb the mountain. It's nice to see like realistic scale, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know.
You say the game looks really good. I'm actually running it on low because I don't have a game PC. But the art direction still looks really good. It looks like I'm playing Fable 1 sometimes, but the art direction is still fantastic, and a lot of the effects are still there. It's generally a good looking game no matter how you run it.
Yeah, and the fact that it can scale that low is pretty impressive.
True.
Like,
so be accessible to a wider audience.
Oh yeah, totally. And that's why I'm pretty sure it's coming to 360 and PS3 too. Well, I guess I don't know what else to really say. There's a lot. I mean, I obviously played way too much of this game. I'm a little sick of it because I played it so much. But do you have any questions about it? Anything in particular?
Yeah. What differentiates it from a normal MMO, like say WoW or something of that nature?
I mean, I guess the combat is, since you can play it all in first person, it makes it a little unique. I know there have been first person MMOs, not like this, not to this scale, not to this quality. Other than that, I mean, you're following quests like an MMO, which I think is an improvement over the Skyrim quest model of stupidity.
What do you mean?
But in Skyrim, you would go to a town and you get a quest, and if you didn't want to do the quest, you'd leave, and you could leave. In here, you can't, you can go over that hill, right? But if you go over that hill, there's like a level 20 demon monster who can kill you, so you can't go over the hill. There's level gating, I guess, you could say. As opposed to Skyrim, you can just, go wherever. So it makes you want to stay there, or it kind of forces you to stay there and do the quest and follow the little story they've made out for you down through the world.
Gotcha.
I mean, as to what makes it different from WoW, I've never played WoW.
And neither have I. This is actually the first time I've ever touched an MMO. But as a first timer, it's really accessible. If you're familiar with Skyrim, you can just jump right in here and have a fun time. The UI is very different once you get into the menus, but it's not hard at all to figure out. And there are some fun little touches, like you can cycle between your active quests while you're playing the game with the T button.
Yeah, there's little things like that.
Yeah.
There's little things that they're MMO things that that improve the Skyrim formula. As
Hmm.
to why this is better than, X, Y, or Z MMO, because it feels like Skyrim is the only
Gotcha.
answer I have.
Right. It doesn't feel like they compromised
Yeah.
on what they've already done.
It feels like it feels less like an MMO made into Skyrim and more like Skyrim made into an MMO.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all.
Actually, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It makes sense.
Rubs beard. Like
I am actually.
I could do that, but I didn't.
Since you make yes do.
Breezy, how do you feel about Elder Scrolls Online? That's how I felt, but I'm pretty impressed by it. I mean, I didn't hate it. I liked it. It seemed good. It's good.
Yeah, it's hitting a lot of the same notes Skyrim has for me as far as what I like in the experience. The quest variety, and just being the openness. I know you said there's level gating. I haven't experienced anything like that yet. I'm mostly hitting level 2 and 3 enemies, and I'm just on that small island though.
Yeah.
So
once it opens up, it does that. But yeah, it's pretty good about that at the beginning.
And it just has those little touches too. Like I came across 2 seagulls pecking a mud crab.
Nice.
Yeah. I was just walking along a beach and there were 2 birds eating a mud crab, and I just like, oh, that's neat, and I kept going.
There's a couple additions that I like too. There's these crystals that you can collect, and once you've got 3 of them, you get a skill point.
Right.
Which I like, because then it just encourages you more to explore the world. There's also, now that there's skills finally, you can, I forget what they call it, but you can mutate or whatever the skills at a certain level. I think once you level up the skill to level 4, you can then pick one of 2 options for it to turn into. So you might get this attack might now its casting time was like a second and a half, but now it's instant, but its range is just around you, and it used to be like a long projectile. Or this now has 2 seconds of stun instead of, something else. And so that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously that's been done before, but that's a really nice way to add more customization. And it still follows the Skyrim model of, hey, you leveled up in light armor and whatnot. And even things like that have skills, and they have active skills, passive skills. There's skills all over the place.
Yeah, I want to go back to the world size for a second. Because of the way they've segmented the worlds, it makes it a lot easier for just pick up and play. Like if you want to play for 20 or 30 minutes, as opposed to like 2 or 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Like this game, I could see myself coming back to it after I put it down for 2 or 3 weeks, and having an idea of what I'm supposed to do. Where Skyrim, I'd set that down for like 2 weeks, and then I came back and it was overwhelming because there's so much stuff and the world's so gigantic.
Exactly. That's I agree completely, and it has a lot to do with how the quests are. Hey, go here, and then you just keep following it, and you can just keep following that quest line, and you don't need to go, I have to go way over there, or what's over there again? Like, even though I wasn't necessarily paying attention to the story, because their stories in these games are so long-winded and uninteresting to me. So I don't know what I was doing, but I was enjoying following the path, and I liked how it was laid out. It doesn't do the annoying MMO thing of you complete the quest, and it's like, oh, the next quest, you have to go back to town and get the quest, and then go back to where you are. Mm-hmm. It doesn't do that. Well, if it does, it doesn't do it a lot. Because a lot of times you complete the quest, and then like the next quest in that line would be right next to you, and you can just keep going. It really encourages you to just keep playing.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. And I'm just having a lot of fun with it.
It is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Anything at all?
No, not really.
Nope.
Sorry.
This is supposed to be big. Unbelievable.
They added a dodge move.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah, it's like this gigantic hop whenever you double tap a direction.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I keep doing it on accident since I rigged it to the controller. It keeps like accidentally doing it, so I'll be in town and I'll touch it, and all of a sudden I'm diving to the side, and I'm sure people just think I'm crazy, just diving everywhere. Yeah, the dodge is cool. It does things now, obviously, where enemy moves are telegraphed. There's a block move. Like they'll do this wind up charge attack type of thing, and you know, okay, this is time to block, and then they block, and then they're stunned, and or they'll do a magic move and it has the red circle on the ground. MMO things.
Gotcha.
What else does it do? I fought one boss and it was infuriating.
Really?
I hated it, and it was awful. I'm sure if I had people there helping, it would have been fine, but soloing that boss needs to be nerfed. Not for like difficulty, because okay, here's what the boss would do. I'm in a volcano. You know what volcanoes are. They have the lava and a mountain.
Mountain.
Uh-huh. So it's this like monster guy. It looks like the Balrog. And on one side of the map is a lava pit, and the other side of the map is a lava pit. And all this monster does is walk to one lava pit, sit there, and recover HP, and then leave the lava pit and go to the one on the other side of the room and do the same thing. That's all it does. And obviously it fights you in between, but it just walks back and forth. And I'd get it down to like 10% of its health, and it'd reach the lava pool. And then it'd regenerate like 75% of its health. And it'd go all the way back to the other side again, and it'd be almost dead, and then it'd heal itself again. And it goes all the way back, and it's like, this is the worst thing I've ever done in a game in a long time. Like, this is god-awful.
Yeah, that just sounds incredibly tedious.
It was so tedious. Not to mention that he doesn't really... You can dodge his attacks pretty easily.
Yeah.
But he'll like summon an imp. And this imp guy is just there to piss you off the entire time. So then this imp guy's there, and you can't win if the imp guy's there because he's just throwing fireballs at you the whole time. So then you gotta leave and kill him. Then you go back to the other guy, and if he hits you twice in a row, or at least me, you're almost dead. So then I gotta retreat for a little bit. It took like half an hour to fight this thing, which is fine if it was good, but it was not good at all. So that's my big complaint, is that boss was super terrible for solo. Merry Christmas, Lava Monster.
Yeah, one thing in the Bethesda games I've played, their combat systems haven't been very deep and amazing, and neither have the encounters.
Yeah.
It's just always hit this until it dies.
Well, that's why this is a step up.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a step, but it's a pretty big step considering.
It adds nuance to the point and click, right?
Yeah. There's monsters in this game, like unlike Skyrim where I felt like there were 3 or 4 monsters. There's all kinds of monsters running around. There's giant jellyfish things that look like the things from Mass Effect. What are they?
Okay. Reapers.
No, not the Reapers. The Hanar, yeah.
All I can think of is Blasto.
I know, stupid.
Yes. Blasto.
Nope.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like if you don't like MMOs, you're not really gonna care. If you don't like Skyrim, you're not really gonna care. But it seems like a really good combination of the two. I just don't know if this whole $60 game with $15 a month subscription fee is really the right idea.
Yeah, I'm hooked, and I definitely want to keep playing, but I don't know if I want to spend that much. Like, it seems like MMOs are just destined to go free to play.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this went free to play. It needs to be like, I'd have no problem paying $15 a month if the game itself was like $20 maybe,
Right.
but like 60, and then on month 2 you're already at 75, and then you feel obligated to play it, which is the point of having a monthly thing and how MMOs work, but it becomes a job instead of something to just do.
Right. That's kind of always my problem with MMOs in general.
Yeah.
Is that whole feel of obligation rather than fun.
I'm sure you want to take bets how long it'll take to be free to play.
Not very long.
It's not a time frame in the slightest.
Between 2 and 3 months.
No.
No, you're probably.
That's
no.
way too quick.
It is.
They just give up immediately. Well, that didn't work.
No, it'll be much quicker. It'll be much longer than that. I mean, because you'll have the initial surge of curiosity like KOTOR did, you know.
Yeah. Well, Knights of the Old Republic went. Well, it was like a year.
Mm-hmm.
I could see this doing the same thing. Something's got to give. It can't be $60.
No.
Even though it's good. And I'm sure it has a ton of content and whatever, because it obviously does. I just don't. I don't know. It's hard to make that value and say like this is worth hundreds of dollars.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Potentially, because you're not gonna be able to get all this content. You're gonna have to play over 100 hours, for sure, and just keep playing, and I don't know. I don't even know if it's good enough to play that long yet.
Yeah, for me, the drive so far is, I would get it if my friends got it. Because like the game itself is like it's a more polished Skyrim, but it's still so close to Skyrim that if I want to play an Elder Scrolls game, I can just pop in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could almost trick someone and just say, "Yeah, this is Elder Scrolls Online, but this is actually Skyrim."
Especially if you mod it up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's no giant mushrooms in Skyrim, so don't let on that there were giant mushrooms. Don't mention it. That's it. I'm surprised there's not many more questions, or that Breezy hasn't been yelling at me the entire time.
Right.
Oh no.
That's a new show, new rules.
Yeah, what's the deal? So quiet.
I'm watching a video.
Not even paying attention. This is how much he cares about Skyrim. Elder Scrolls.
Dovahkiin. I don't know.
You're a terrible person. Terrible person. You're almost as bad as that boss I fought. Almost.
Almost. Not quite, but almost.
It's close. It's pretty close. Can't believe you have no comments. Not even like this game sucks and I hate it.
I've not played Elder Scrolls Online, so I don't know what you want me to say.
You're so quick to judge on Devil May Cry. So quick.
Because I am a fan of that franchise / series and Ninja Theory and yeah.
There you go. There he is. He's showing up. All right. Alright, so I guess that's all we have. I blame Breezy for most of it. Comment what you think about the Elder Scrolls Online. Will you pay the price? Pay the price. Will you pay the monthly
Pay the
fee?
pipe.
I know. Watch out, you will pay the price. It's not a threat. What you think of it, if this is enticing, if you would pay $15 a month. I don't know. I don't know who's saying that. I think it's a little too much. Maybe 10. 10 is a lot smaller than 15, obviously. That's how numbers work.
Numbers.
I think like if you buy more in advance, it does scale down. So like if you want a full year, it's just $100. I don't know. I may have misread that.
That's cool. A lot of MMOs do that actually.
Yeah.
It's smart. That's pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's cool, but still, it's kind of a lot of money.
Yeah.
So sound off in the comments below. You can also email us at podcast@thegamefanatics.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter. I am TGF_KirbyLink. Greg is...
The Indie Geek.
Jeff is...
TGF_J Smith, I think. I forget.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And Breezy doesn't want to be followed. And he doesn't deserve to be followed. So,
Okay.
There you go. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Sorry, Breezy. Sorry. And that's it. Dovahkiin. Do your Dovahkiin, Breezy.
What?
Never
What am I
mind.
doing?
Exactly.
Never mind. Yeah, do the Dovahkiin. Huh? What, do what now?
Spring that stuff on people.
You did it earlier. You said Dovahkiin.
Dovahkiin, did.
There we go.
Fushroda.
That's it.
What am I supposed to do here? I'm so confused.
That was so worth it. That was worth everything.
We're so professional.
I know, we're so good.